Recap of Episode 8 of Season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty. The most recent episode, titled Last Kiss, officially clarified that Belly and Jeremiah would not be getting married. However, does this imply that she would reunite with her first love, Conrad? The time has here, and it has arrived in the most exquisite manner imaginable. Given how poorly Jerry has developed as a character over the last season, I must admit that I was somewhat concerned about Jenny Han's reaction. However, we finally saw some improvement in Jerry. Additionally, we learn that everyone in this situation has flaws and that no one, not even Conrad, gets away with it. After everything Belly has been through thus far, I can clearly appreciate why Steven is one of my favorite characters in the show, and I'm thrilled to watch him play Big Brother so well. In this episode, I think I also genuinely thought Belly loved Jerry. As I already stated, I was on Jerry's side, but only because I thought he treated her better than the other brother, but this episode showed that they genuinely do love each other. Since this is a recap rather than a review, let's examine every event that took place in Episode 8 of Season 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Belly wakes up in the opening scene of Episode 8 looking as though she had the worst night ever, and she did. She gets Jerry's voicemail, in which he apologizes for not being at the beach the night before and informs her that they would only be able to see each other at the rehearsal dinner because he is already on his way to the boat with the boys. It just so happens that Belly and Conrad are the only two people in the house because the latter chose not to go fishing with his brother and his jerk of a father. The worst part is that Conrad hits Belly again, asking her to forget about the whole affair and act as if it never happened. Belly correctly calls him out by saying, "Nothing has changed about him." Conrad claims that Belly rejected him after he exposed himself to her, but all he wants is to go with some pride, which she evidently won't give him. She tells him that she doesn't want to see him at the wedding because she is unsure of how to respond to Jerry and because, after everything, she can't envision Conrad standing next to him. Belly accuses Conrad of being cruel, but Conrad argues that Belly is the one who lacks empathy because she knows he has always loved her. He asks her about Christmas and the time he injured his leg surfing, but she reminds him that they dated once when she was in high school and that a lot of time has gone by since then. She just responds, "Nothing," despite the fact that it is obviously untrue. Man, this pair definitely needs to talk. Conrad leaves the house as Belly requested, "With or without you," playing in the background, but she knows right then that no matter how hard she tries, she will never be able to let him go entirely. The girl leaves. She, I suppose, uses the infinity necklace to soothe her anxiety or tea. She inquires as to whether he anticipated her abrupt change. Her thoughts since, after all this time, he recalled her existence. Conrad responds that he never forgot and that Belly can act as though she did, but he's very sure she hasn't forgotten his feelings for her, and hers, I guess. In addition to asking Belly what Conrad said, Taylor also informs her that she instructed him to leave when they are at the spa. Belly informs Taylor that she will be married her best buddy when she finishes the supper. She keeps referring to her best friend rather than the love of her life, which is strange, isn't it? Yes, the notorious white dress from the rehearsal dinner is what led everyone to believe that Taylor was getting married because she became pregnant. You see, Steven and Taylor are not stupid. In my opinion, it also looks far more costly than the wedding gown, but I suppose the wedding gown is supposed to be silk. After a very brief and uneventful rehearsal, the rehearsal dinner is scheduled. Conrad will do anything to divert his attention from Belly and Jeremiah, so he assures Kaylee that the table looks fantastic. In a moment between Taylor and her mother, Lucinda confesses that she has a new boyfriend, although she adds that she was aware of the credit score issue. Later in the show, we'll learn whether Steven and she had a discussion when he dropped her off in the room. Belly and Jerry thank everyone in the room as the speeches finally begin. She refers to Steven as the best big bro and Taylor as a sister. Belly doesn't even take her eyes off Jerry when it's time for Jerry to thank Conrad. However, all is forgotten when Jerry claims that Belly is the daughter his mother has always desired, leading him to feel that she is protecting them and blessing them. It's funny, Jerry calls Conrad is devoted. Adam then informs Jerry that he did a wonderful job impressing the partners, who are happy to have him on board. When Belly finds out that Jerry will be working in the office without even asking her, she is shocked. When she inquires about school, he responds that he will complete it online. He claims he won't do it if she doesn't want him to, but Belly quickly tells Jerry that she won't stop him if this work brings him happiness after spotting Conrad. Conrad is invited for ice cream as Jerry and Belly leave after the dinner. He claims to be too exhausted, and Jerry chastises him for acting oddly and remaining silent during the rehearsal supper. Jerry claims to be thrilled for his best man speech, but nobody else appears to be. Conrad simply states that he doesn't want to go. However, there is no chemistry between Steven and Denise when they finally attempt to kiss, so Steven can go back to Taylor and will have a happy ending there, right? However, Steve and Denise will make excellent business partners. Belly chooses to swim at night since she can't sleep. She chooses to share Conrad's confession with Jerry after clearing her head. At first glance, Jerry. And I must admit that the way she holds him gives me a very maternal feeling. Do you get what I mean? However, when Belly wakes up the following day, Jeremiah is absent, and Conrad is clearly to blame. Steven questions why she would tell him what Conrad said, and Belly begins to panic right away. While Belly is supposed to get dressed, shouldn't she take a bath, though? They begin searching for him. Steven is the best big brother ever, dude. When he asks Conrad if he has seen his younger brother, Conrad gives him dubious answers, which infuriates Steven. He tells Conrad that he's tired of Conrad's sad boy act and that everyone can see that he's still stuck on Belly. Steven informs him that since Jerry is his best friend and Belly is his younger sister, he must listen to what he has to say. Friend who has been there the entire time. The one who fled was Conrad. Steven doesn't agree with Conrad's claim that he ran because of his emotions. Since everyone still thinks Conrad is the nice guy in this situation, he orders him to clean up the mess he made.